It's a plant-based life for us. It's a plant-based life for us. Instead of sugar, we get potatoes. Instead of chocolate kisses, we get carrots. It's a plant life for us.
So I'm doing a podcast about my diet, and the pictures behind me for the ones listening on YouTube is my extreme weight. So between I think I got to my worst weight of 230 in 2014, and I battled it for a while. And about 2016, I decided I got to change things, and that's when I started doing fasting. And how it really started was I was waking up in the middle of the night with acid reflux, where I was throwing up in the sink, and because the acid would just come up to my um, come up to the top of my throat, the gag reflex, and cause me to throw up every flipping night. And I was eating stupid, like 3 Monster energy drinks and eating whatever I wanted, and just pigging out. And it was a horrible process. But I was basically throwing up in the middle of the night for 6 months straight. Went to the doctor, did all the tests because I was worried I was like damaging my esophagus and all that. So I did the test, and I blew up in the balloon, and it was sent out for to see if there was any issues, and there wasn't. And so my doctor's like, "Hey, just take a pill and you'll be fine." And so I'm like, "You can eat whatever you want." Yeah, just take the pill and you'll be fine. And I'm like, "No, there has to be another way." So I did some research. I found about fasting, and fasting knocked it out right away. And then I studied fasting for a while. I was doing fasting for now 4 years, 3 years, and I was doing 16-hour fasts and got up to 20-hour fasts, and I shrunk my weight to about 170, and it would fluctuate a bit based on how I fasted, because I wasn't like consistent, but I would do at least 5 of the 7 days, and sometimes could do 16 days straight. And the cool thing about fasting, you can just, if you screw up, you could always start again the next day. Fasting was awesome. It was a good reset for me, but there was a time I had to transition, which was to plant-based, and that's what we're going to talk about, because I'm getting a lot of questions online about that, so I'm going to give an update about that. So plant-based, how it makes me feel. First of all, I learned how to do plant-based from a friend of mine, Chris Scotti, who was having some health issues, and he was told to go plant-based. And I'll actually have him on the podcast to tell a story. He told me about it. I'm like, I'm going to give it a shot. And I went for it. And now I'm on day like 56 of it. And it transformed my body and my health like right away. Because with fasting, I just became a skinny fat guy. But with plant-based, I became skinny ripped guy. So I'm more lean. I'm working out more. I have more energy. It's just different. Fasting, I didn't have enough energy. I was overworked, I think, a little bit, but I didn't have the energy to like do exercise and do my days. With plant-based, I have a ton of energy, more than I ever thought I could. Like, I had so much energy. I was working out. I went to like 16 days of working out in a row, and I was doing 2 days too. Like on the weekend, I'm like, did a workout in the morning at Burn It, Build It, and then I would do a run that night. And my runs are always minimum 3.2 miles in the mountains. So it was strangely weird to feel like a kid again and be able to run the amount of running I was doing. I was running so much, from Burn It, Build It, doing the burns, to running at night. I started urinating blood. I was like, oh my gosh, what I got? I look on Google. I'm like, oh, I'm STD. No, that can't be that. You never know, but it's not that. Kidney cancer. I was prostate cancer and all that stuff, freaking out. And then I realized it was from running, and so I slowed down. It took it away right away. But that's how much energy I had. I had so much energy. I was running like more than I would run. Now, mind you, I was running before fasting, and I was up to almost 400 miles from March to August. But I did that for my mental side, and that's something we can talk about later. But plant-based, oh my word. I mean, I was just like, full of energy. Still am, still doing it. So I'll show you some of my plants. So, or what I eat. So this is brown rice, black beans, just carrots. The one thing about this, it's not cheap. So this is pretty much what I eat every day, and I got to get better with, a variety. Like I had spaghetti squash and stuff, but I try mixing it several kinds of beans. I crave it too. So that's Burn It Build It. That's where I work out. And there's my wife, and I do that a lot. But I'm eating this a lot, and the other thing is I'm hungry. I am just absolutely starving all the time. Like it's like my metabolism is went through the roof, and I just can eat forever. Avocados, almost. I have an avocado every day. Now this diet can be expensive. It can be where it's just not. It's not for everybody because of the cost, but you have to like sacrifice things. So I'm also off energy drinks. So energy drinks, I'm off on day 6 days without energy drinks. Now, mind you, so when I was on the still on the plant based, but during plant based, that's one thing I wasn't willing to give up, and I did the energy drinks, of course, no carbs, no sugar, but there's a lot of crap in it, and the whole point of plant based is to fill your body with real food. So I'm on day 6, and I've been drinking energy drinks for 15 years, every freaking day. I mean, there was one time I went off for a year, and then picked it right up. Just so I understand the addiction and how I could just go to it anytime, but maybe documenting this online will help keep me motivated. But as far as my mental clarity, I feel mentally stronger, and physically, I just feel more alive. We'll see how long that lasts, but it's better to eat clean. It's certainly better to eat clean, and I'll definitely have Chris Scotti on the podcast to talk about all the health benefits of it, because he's way into it. He's in almost his second year of doing it. He just feels amazing. He's 49 and he's shredded, ripped, and healthy, and his skin is better. His teeth are white, and he just has so many benefits from it. So we'll have him on hopefully in the next couple of weeks to talk about it. So since I want to make this kind of part of my podcast, I want to keep people updated. And as far as the coaching side goes, the coaches, you should be doing these things. You should be always challenging yourself, whether it's through how you eat, fitness, sleep, whatever, any form of discipline, because you're asking your athletes to be disciplined, so you should be disciplined. So those are my thoughts today. In the description, I'll put all my health stuff on there. I have my first 75 days doing the Wim Hof method, which is basically breathing technique and cold plunges. And the other thing is, I think I combined it. Yeah, the Wim Hof method and some other diets I did with like eating meat only and doing push-ups every day. And I did all these different things. But I'll check the description below, and you can see kind of the evolution of Dave and see how I kind of go through those things. So I'll keep you guys updated on how I'm doing. I'm in day 55, I believe. I'll double check that, and I'll report once a week. Just keep people updated. Thanks for tuning in. Talk to you guys soon.